Okay, so piggybacking, so to speak, off the last video, which was is the woman first part two. I was basically stating in the Japanese curriculum, the both the women and the men are taught martial arts. Now I know some individuals may disagree with the Japanese form of life as it is today in modern times. However, I guess you could say in the Japanese so-called medieval times or in times of war in the past, the women could fight just as well as the men. This also happened in China, also, well, in certain parts of China. So once again, that's just confirming why I don't accept that a woman is supposed to be in a more passive role while the male being dominant. Because when you look at this, it's not natural, especially when you're dealing with the the energy or this principle of change. I'm a martial arts instructor, and it seems to me with the couple of women I do teach, after I have taught them enough to give them the basics, how to move, how to punch, how to hit, how to knee, and all of this stuff, at times they seem a hell of a lot more ferocious than the brothers I teach. And some of the brothers I teach are well over 6 feet tall, and the women are under like 5'7" and under. They just seem to be a little bit more ferocious, meaning that really is not expected. Okay, and when they know what to do, when you teach them the science, a woman can be a ferocious warrior just like the Amazons. Okay, and remember through information, the Amazons not only had offspring, the Amazons were kicking other men's asses, men and women asses, and they were even leading troops of men. So that being the case, that's another reason why I can't accept that a woman is supposed to take the passive role. Not saying that the viewer said that. The viewer who was commenting on the video said that. Let me say that number one and foremost. Okay, so thinking of anything else that I have to reply to this, I will say this. I'll go back to the relationship piece, and also in a relationship, there are times where one particular gender will have to take the so-called leadership role, and then there are other times when the other will have to take the leadership role. That's natural. Okay, there are times where the woman will speak up more or have, I guess you could say, more control or expertise in one area versus some males or men. Okay, I do accept too that women are who they are. However, I also feel that if women were taught straight up and down from a balanced point of view who they are, what they are, them being the first teachers to the younglings or the progeny in the womb, especially if they were taught from the jump who they are and what they can be, society wouldn't be the way it is. This society clearly presents a subliminal assertion that men are supposed to rule. However, in the background, women are ruling. Ask yourself this: you could be the most beautiful brother in the world, and you walk in a room with 15 women. Just because you walk in that room don't mean that you can have personal access and sex with all of them. You can want to have you can wish to have sex with all of them. You can't get it until she say so. This is all the religions. The only time I've seen men be in control of sex is when they have a woman in slavery. And even still, if that woman uses her womb and her mind to manipulate, she could be the slave and manipulate the slave master and deliver things to her power. Now, this is not the women are bad or this is they just like the woman in the Bible. I was just giving an example. Now, in a relationship, so to speak, between a man and a woman, monogamous relationship, of course, as I explained, there are times where either one will have to take the reign. But it's not about submission or dominance. Because really, to tell you the truth, in a relationship, you have to submit to each other. It's not about one submitting to the other. That's the biblical stuff that they taught us to keep us in line, to keep us obedient. When it really comes down to it, the man and the woman both have to submit to each other and be one. That's how it works. Okay? And especially when you're dealing with the sciences of sex magic, tantra, um, when the kundalini, especially. And this is one of the reasons why we need each other. It's life or death, because you can seek enlightenment through being with a woman, and a woman can seek enlightenment from being with a man. Because here's the thing: when a woman is born, she's more on the emotional or mental plane. When a male is born, most often, he's more attached to the physical plane. Okay? And this is what the relationship also is supposed to teach us. Being that a woman is connected to the spiritual realm more so than the male is not to say that the male has no connection. We have connection, but because we have testosterone, which is a physical accompaniment, which also translates to the spiritual also, it allows us to, in so many words, not really pay attention to that stuff at first as much as a woman, because most women are so deeply immersed in their emotions or the mental to the point they really don't pay attention to the physical a lot. This is why a lot of times women, when they meet a man or meet anyone, they're thinking long term first rather than temporary. The left brain, so to speak, deals with the temporary, which is the part of the brain that males are mostly led by, and women are of course led by the other. The purpose of spiritual enlightenment with each other is the fact that the feminine essence is supposed to allow us, being a guide, to allow us to connect more with the unseen or the spiritual planes, the mental planes, and vice versa, that we're to aid women into becoming one, comfortable and balanced in the physical plane. So once again, that goes along with the symbol of the two triangles interposed on each other or interlaced with each other, which is known as the Star of Vishnu, or what we call the so-called Star of David, or misinterpreted, because it's supposed to be the Star of Deva. That's another video. And it's supposed to represent the powers of the higher vibratory worlds and the lower vibratory worlds becoming one. Symbolically, Haru represents this in the Meta-Nether. Haru is the intermediator of the lower worlds as well as the higher worlds. And what we're to do in life is to bring balance of both of those worlds into one, because contrary to popular acceptance, we need the physical plane for spiritual enlightenment as much as the worlds that are unseen. So symbolically, men and women represent this in relationships. There's a lot of things that you can learn from a woman emotionally, especially dealing with intuition. And there's a lot of things a woman can learn from a man physically, dealing with not only defense, knowing your environment. Okay, so that's all that I have to expound on at this time. So if there are any questions, comments, or other information that any of you wish to add to this, I would appreciate it. Criticism, whatever. So until the next time I do a post, I would like to, I guess you say, bid you farewell or bye in the universal greetings of Ashe, Shalom, Salam, Heyi, Peace, Aman, Hotep.